My parents barged into my job screaming that I destroyed the family legacy because I refused to pay my spoiled sister's rent. They accused me of being a disgrace, called me a traitor in front of my boss, and demanded I hand over my paycheck. I walked out mid-shift and went no contact, but they didn't expect what I did next. Now they're in absolute panic. What have you done? You went too far this time. Okay, so I guess I got a rant, BC. I'm still shaken about this. And honestly, I DK if I'm going to have a job tomorrow. Not even joking. If you ever thought your family was dramatic, after reading this. So, for some context, I'm Baylor. I'm 25 and I've been the responsible one since I was like 12. My little sister Sharon is honestly princess level spoiled and I DK if that's even her fault anymore or just how my parents set it up. Like, she's 23. Never really stuck to one thing. Always had someone bailing her out. First it was school, then rent, then car payments, then whatever. My parents always say she's sensitive. What that means is if she fails, someone else has to catch her. Guess who that is? Anyway, Thursday, I show up for my shift and I already notice something weird. My manager keeps glancing at me and then looking away. Not in the usual you're late way, but like he's nervous about something. One coworker kind of whispers and shifts over when I come in, and I'm like, whatever. Or maybe I forgot to clock out or something. I can deal. I go to grab a coffee from the back and my phone blows up. Like messages from my mom, dad, Sharon, even my aunt for some reason. All blowing up in a group chat. Not even about anything. Just a lot of call us now. And Baylor, this is urgent. I ignore it because I have like bills to pay. And also, I know how these urgent things go. It's never really urgent. It's always about money or Sharon. I'm maybe an hour in helping out. And I hear this loud voice like echoing. I figure, oh God, angry customer. Just what I need. But then I hear my own name. And then I see my mom, dad, and Sharon coming in the front, and my stomach just drops. My dad is already talking, not even lowering his voice, just walking straight in. I'm like, what are you even doing here? My mom's face is all pinched up. She's got that look like she's about to cry, but is actually just mad. Sharon's not even making eye contact, just scrolling on her phone like she's being dragged into detention. So, they come right over. My dad starts with, so, you're just going to ignore your family now? He's not even whispering, like people are turning around to stare. My mom says something about how I'm making them look like fools and letting Sharon be homeless. I just stand there kind of stunned, not really wanting to say anything, BC. There are people everywhere. My parents do not care. They start going off about how I destroyed the family legacy, which is a joke since the only legacy is bailing Sharon out of whatever she messes up. My boss comes out and starts asking if there's a problem. My mom turns to him and is like, yes, there's a problem. Your employee is refusing to help his family. And I swear I saw my boss's soul leave his body for a second. So now I'm standing there, my parents yelling. My boss looking like he wants to disappear. Sharon sitting on a bench scrolling TikTok. My dad starts demanding my paycheck, like straight up telling me, give us your paycheck right now. You owe your sister. This is what family does. I tell him, I'm not doing that. I already paid Sharon's rent for like 3 months. And she said she'd pay me back. She didn't. Shocker. My mom is getting madder, saying I'm a disgrace, traitor, not a real son, etc. My dad tries to grab my arm. Not hard, but enough to make me jerk back. I say, don't touch me. At this point, I'm shaking. Not from fear, just like pure rage. And everyone is staring, and I can see one of my coworkers recording on their phone. I'm praying this does not end up on someone's. My dad pushes me. Actually pushes me. Not like to hurt, but enough that I stumble. I shove him back. My boss is telling them to leave. And my mom is crying now, saying, this is what you're doing to me. This is what you've become. My dad says, you're dead to us if you walk away. I just look at them and I don't even know. I just start laughing like I couldn't stop. I told him, fine, I'm dead to you. I quit. I take off my lanyard and drop it on the counter. My boss starts saying, I can't just leave mid-shift. I say, you deal with them. I'm done. I walk right out, my parents yelling after me. Sharon finally looks up and rolls her eyes, says, "Typical." On the way out, my mom tries to grab my sleeve. I yank free. She slaps my arm. Not hard, but enough to sting. I keep walking. I get outside and I literally have no plan. I just walk around the block, block all their numbers, go home, lock the door and just sit there. So now I'm sitting here in my apartment staring at like 50 unread messages, all from family, some from people I barely talk to. My cousin sends me a Snapchat with a screenshot of our family group chat. My mom calling me a traitor. My dad saying I destroyed everything we built. Nobody asks what happened, just why I'm making a scene or hurting Sharon. No one cares that I'm the only one who ever paid her rent, covered her bills, drove her around, fixed her car. I'm not even mad about the money anymore. I'm mad that they think it's just what I'm supposed to do. Like it's my job to save Sharon every time she screws up. I'm not doing it anymore. They think they embarrassed me. They have no idea what's coming next. I'm not just cutting them off. I'm going to make them regret ever thinking I'm just their backup plan. They want to play games. I'll show them what happens when you push someone too far. TBH, I don't even know if I'll get my job back, but I don't care. I got bigger plans now. Stay tuned. If you thought this was wild, wait until you see what's next. I'm not stopping at just walking out. Trust me, they're about to see what it's really like when you burn your bridges. Welcome to Hidden Lies. Update 1. So, yeah, it's Baylor again. And I thought yesterday was the worst it could get. But turns out my family's got actual Olympic-level skills at making it worse. I barely slept BC. My phone would not stop vibrating. Just endless group chat dings, missed calls, even a couple random voicemails from my Aunt Janice, who lives like 3 states away and never talks to me except when someone dies or gets married. If you're reading this FR, I hope your family is at least a little bit normal. So, waking up, I check my phone out of habit, and it's just a wall of text. Half the family group chat is screenshots of my mom's long guilt paragraphs. Dad ranting about family loyalty, and Sharon, who's apparently now homeless. She isn't. She's at her friend Skylar's place, but whatever. What's wild is nobody's asking what actually happened. It's all just, why'd you embarrass Mom? Why'd you walk out? What's wrong with you? Even got a text from my boss, which is a first, saying, I need to clarify what happened. If I want to keep my schedule, I just leave him on read. I'm not dealing with that right now. So, here's where I got to explain why everything always ends up like this. My parents have this thing about the family legacy. It basically means if one of us, aka Sharon, messes up, the other, aka me, is supposed to fix it. No questions, no thanks, just do it. The whole reason they treat me like this is BC. I'm the stable one. The guy who won't say no, who always covers the bill or picks up the slack. It's not even like I'm rich or anything. I just budget and don't waste my money on random stuff. So somehow that means I'm responsible for everyone else. Sharon, on the other hand, gets bailed out literally every time, like car payments, phone bills, her last 2 apartments, even her cat's vet bills. When I say I'm done, I mean done. So I sit there staring at my coffee, just getting more and more pissed off. I kept thinking, maybe they'll get that I'm serious if I just ignore them. No, of course not. Now they're blowing up my friends, even my ex for some reason. Then I remember I'm the one who set up the family phone plan when I was like 19. Mainly BC. I got a deal at the time and it was cheaper for everyone. Guess whose name is on the account? Guess who gets hit with the bill every month even though everyone promises to Venmo me? Also me. So I log into my account. I don't just pause Sharon's phone. I remove her number, then take my dad's and my mom's off too. So it's just me now. No warning, no message, just gone. Then I remember the family checking account my parents made me open at 18 supposedly so I could learn about money. The real reason so they could dump their overdrafts and bounce checks to me. BCI never let things get too low. I go online, transfer everything that's actually mine to my own new account. Opened last month after the last rent drama. Change all my direct deposit info, then walk to the bank and close the joint account for good. The teller asks if I'm sure. I say, yeah, I'm very sure. She just nods. By this point, my phone is blowing up again. And I get a group chat notification from my cousin Barry, who's mostly chill, but always in family drama BC. He's everyone's favorite nephew. He sends me a screenshot. My mom's texting the whole family that I'm destroying their lives and stranding Sharon with no way to contact anyone. Sharon herself is now texting me, calling me an a-hole, then sending a sad selfie saying she's stuck at Starbucks using Wi-Fi. I just sigh and mute her. So now I'm thinking, okay, they'll get the message, right? Nope. I get a knock at my door like not even an hour later. It's my mom and dad both in let's have a talk mode. My mom tries to push into my apartment. I block the door with my foot and say, "You're not coming in unless you calm down." She pushes past me. Dad follows, slamming the door behind him. Mom immediately starts in. Says, "I'm ruining the family's reputation. That people are asking questions." BC Sharon's phone is off and she can't post stories anywhere. Dad starts pacing. Says, "I need to undo what I did or else." I ask, "Or else what?" He says, "Or else they'll go to everyone and tell them how selfish I am, how I'm abandoning the family." I say, "Go ahead. But I guarantee nobody cares as much as you think." Mom tries to slap my arm again. I step back and just stare at her. She sits down and starts crying. I get this weird flash of like, is this even real? Am I the villain here? Then I remember every single time I paid Sharon's rent. Every time I skipped out on stuff I wanted. BC, she needed help. Nah, I'm not the villain. I'm just tired. Dad starts threatening to call my bank, says I stole their money. I tell him the money's mine. Check the statements. He gets quiet, which is honestly the most satisfying thing I've seen all week. They finally leave. Mom slams the door. As they're leaving, I hear her on the phone with someone, probably Aunt Janice, telling her I locked them out of their own account and left Sharon to starve. I just sit back down, order some pizza, and decide I'm not done yet. So, next thing I do, I go online and change all the addresses for bills, subscriptions, even their dumb magazine that's still in my name for some reason. Don't ask. Long story. Anything that's mine. I move off their radar. I set all my socials to private. Block Sharon, block my mom, even block my dad after he leaves a voicemail yelling for like 2 solid minutes. I get a DM from my cousin Mary who's actually cool and just says, "Is it true you bailed on your whole family?" I text her back. Nah, I just stopped being a free ATM. I'm not even sure how much of this is going to stick. BC, my parents always find some way to guilt me back in, but this time feels different. The fact that they actually showed up at my place, tried to push in, tried to use Sharon again as the reason I'm a bad son. Nah, not happening. I hear from another cousin, Skylar, who Sharon's crashed with. That Sharon's telling everyone I kicked her out and ruined her life, but also that she's now trying to get Skylar to cover her rent. Skylar texts me, "Bro, what the hell did you do?" I just sent back a shrug emoji. So, right now, I'm sitting here still kind of pissed, but also low-key, just waiting for them to realize how deep I cut this time. I know my mom's reputation means everything to her. She hates when people see behind the curtain. She's all about appearances and now everyone's seeing the mess. What's next? But I'm not backing down. Not this time. If they want to play games, I'll make sure they lose for updates soon, BC. I have a feeling my parents are about to go nuclear, and I am so ready. Update 2. So yeah, it's me again. Angel thought after the whole shut down the accounts thing. Maybe my parents would get the hint. Nope. If anything, they're like even more dramatic now. Woke up this morning and noticed my phone battery was basically dead from all the notifications. I had missed calls from numbers I didn't even recognize. And a couple people I barely talked to, like Sharon's weird old friend from high school. Even someone from my mom's church group messaging me asking what's going on at home. Is Sharon really living on the street? Why am I ruining everything? I'm not even surprised anymore, just annoyed. It's like my family's personal Olympics is how many people can we drag into this? So, I'm making coffee and see a car slow roll outside my window. Not like suspicious, just my dad's car, which I recognize immediately. Sure enough, he parks and a couple minutes later, someone starts banging on my door. I'm honestly thinking about just ignoring it, but then I see the text. My dad's saying he's outside. Wants to talk. Not leaving till we fix this. I just stare at the door for a second, then open at a crack enough to see both parents standing there looking way too calm for what they've been texting. My mom says, "Let us in. We need to talk." I don't move. I say, "Only if you actually listen for once." She pushes past me. My dad follows, shuts the door so hard it rattles. I almost laugh, but I'm just tired. So, my dad starts in, not yelling, but doing that I'm the reasonable one thing where he just talks over me. He says, "I need to stop this madness." Says I'm ruining Sharon's life. She's crying every night. She can't even use her phone. She's scared for her safety. My mom is already tearing up, saying I'm making her sick with stress. That everyone's asking questions. She can't even show her face at church, etc. I say I'm not responsible for Sharon anymore. She's an adult. Maybe she should get a job or pay her own rent. For my dad gets mad, says I'm being cruel. That family doesn't abandon each other. I say I haven't abandoned anyone. I just stopped being their doormat. He stands up, gets in my space, not touching but close enough to make a point. I don't back down. He says, "You're going to regret this, you know." I say, "Not as much as you're about to." Then I pull out this folder. Yeah, I know sounds dramatic, but I've been keeping receipts for a while, like bank transfers, Venmo screenshots, even texts from Sharon promising to pay me back. I lay it out on the table. I say, "Here's every dollar I've paid for Sharon since she turned 18. My mom tries to snatch the folder. I pull it back. I say, "You want to talk about family? Family doesn't use each other as backup plans." Dad just stares, then tries to grab the papers. I push his hand away. He says, "What are you even doing with this? Trying to blackmail your own family?" I say, "Nah, just showing you the facts. If you want to drag everyone into this, I'll send them all the number." My mom actually slaps the table, says I'm threatening her, that I've lost my mind. So now it's like the quietest standoff ever. My mom is shaking. Dad is clenching his jaw. And I'm just waiting for one of them to say something that makes sense. Instead, Sharon herself comes up the stairs. I did not know she was coming. She's got her old hoodie on, looks tired, but still scrolling on her phone as us. She barely says hi. Just sits at my kitchen counter in size. Big drama style. She says, "So what? You're just going to let me be homeless?" I say, "You're not homeless. You're crashing at Skylar's and you know it." She rolls her eyes, says Skylar's mom wants her out if she can't pay rent. Then she says, "All you care about is money. You never cared about me." I laugh, not even because it's funny, just because it's so backward. I say, "I've paid your rent for almost 2 years. You never paid me back once." She shrugs, says, "You never asked." I just stare at her. My dad stands up and tries to get in between us, probably to calm things down, except he just makes it worse. I say, "I'm done. You all need to leave now." My mom stands up says, "You can't just shut us out. We're your family." I say, "Watch me." They finally start moving toward the door, but not before my mom slaps my arm hard this time and says, "I hope you're happy." My dad slams the door on the way out. Sharon lingers for a sec, then just says, "This is why nobody likes you," and leaves. So, I'm just standing there in my own kitchen, and for the first time in like ever, I don't feel guilty, just mad. If they want to drag everyone into this, I'll give them something to talk about. I start texting the receipts and rent breakdowns to the extended family group chat. Not with any commentary, just the numbers, dates, and who paid what. Cousin Barry asks if this is for real. Aunt Janice says, "This is a family matter. We don't need to see this." I say, "If you want to talk about family, you should know what really happens." Next thing I know, my phone is blowing up again, but now it's half the family yelling at me, half of them quiet. A couple even DM me like, "Thanks for finally saying it." Sharon texts me calling me names. Says, if I don't fix this, she'll never talk to me again. I block her. An hour later, my dad calls, not yelling for once, but weirdly quiet. He says, "What have you done? You went too far this time." I say, "You haven't seen anything yet." Now, my parents are actually scared. BC, Their whole family legacy is just smoke and mirrors. And everyone's starting to see it. Mom texts me like 20 times saying I'm ruining her life. Dad says I need to delete what I sent or they'll take action. I tell them, go ahead. But I'm not backing down. So, now I'm waiting. They thought they could control me forever. They have no idea. I'm not done yet. Final update. Yo, it's Baylor. Last time I'm posting about this BC, I honestly need to start thinking about literally anything else. But I know people wanted to know what happened after the whole receipts in the group chat thing. Angel, some of y'all in my DMs have been wild, but respect for actually reading all this. So, first weird thing, I noticed my dad's car was gone from the driveway like super early. Not his usual style. He's the sleeping on Saturdays type. I figured they were either hiding out or somewhere plotting what to do about the fact that I basically nuked their family legacy group chat. I check my phone, see a bunch of unread voicemails, some texts from people I don't even have saved, and one from my Aunt Sharon, who's never once texted me first asking if everything is okay with the family. It's almost kind of funny how fast the family grapevine works when there's drama. I made myself breakfast, scroll some reels, try to pretend I'm not waiting for my phone to blow up again. Of course it does. It's my mom this time. Calls me twice, leaves a voicemail. I listen to it. She's crying, but it's also that angry cry where she's talking about how I've humiliated her and ruined her in front of everyone. That people are canceling plans, not calling her back, suddenly busy. She says something about how she can't pay the bills now, and it's all my fault, and I need to fix what I did. She sounds tired, not even angry, which honestly just makes it weirder. Then my dad texts me. Not a wall of texts. Just call me now. I go to ignore it. But then my cousin Barry calls and says, did you see what happened? Apparently my parents' utilities got shut off. So now I'm like, okay. So they really were hiding how bad their money situation was. I guess I always knew they were using my account for more than Sharon's stuff, but I didn't realize it was that deep. They always acted like they had it handled, but now that I'm not there as the fallback, it's all blowing up. Mid-morning, there's a knock at my door. It's my dad. He doesn't even look mad, just kind of out of it. He says, you need to help us. I say, I'm not your emergency plan anymore. He says, you're taking this too far. You're ruining everything. I cross my arms and say, I'm just letting you deal with it, for my mom comes up the steps holding her phone like she's about to throw it. She says, I can't believe you did this. Your own family. After everything, I say. After everything I did, you mean? She tries to push past me into the apartment. I block the door with my foot. She slaps my arm, says, you're not a real son. You're a traitor. I don't move. Sharon calls me. Not even texts. Actually calls, which she never does. She says, you need to fix this now. I can't even get a new apartment, BC. Nobody will co-sign. And Skylar's mom is kicking me out. I say, maybe try paying your own way for once. She hangs up. So now with my parents basically losing it and Sharon not able to guilt anyone else, I realize they're actually desperate for the first time. They're not used to being the ones who have to scramble. My mom says, you made us look like fools. You're breaking up the family. You'll regret it. I say, I already regret not doing this sooner. My dad tries to pull the I'll tell everyone what you did move, but everyone already knows. He says, you need to fix this or you're out of the will. You'll never be part of this family again. I just laugh. I say, that's fine. I'll actually save money that way. They finally leave. My mom slams the door so hard the frame shakes. I just go back to my kitchen, eat cold cereal, and scroll through all the new texts blowing up my phone. Some cousins are mad at me. Others are weirdly supportive. One just sends me a meme about burning bridges. I don't even care anymore. Later that day, I get a message from my dad. He says, please, we're begging you. Just fix the bank stuff. Put things back the way they were. He says, your mom can't show her face anywhere. Sharon's friends are making fun of her for getting cut off, and nobody will lend us anything now that they know you're not bailing us out. He says, you proved your point. Now stop. I leave him on read. My parents tried to get my Aunt Janice and cousin Barry to call and talk me into forgiving them and moving forward. Barry says. You've made your point. Maybe it's time to let it go. I say, I'm not interested. Janice leaves me a long voicemail about how family means everything, but then follows up with a text saying, honestly, I get it. Even she's tired of the drama. Honestly, it's been weirdly quiet since then. I went for a walk, ran into a neighbor who asked if everything's okay because my mom was apparently crying in the driveway. I just shrug, say family stuff, and keep walking. I hear Sharon is trying to get a new roommate, but nobody wants to move in with her BC. She's telling everyone about her evil brother. Skylar texts me says, didn't know your family was like this. And I just send back the shrug emoji. Now, my parents are basically on their own for the first time in IDK ever. They're still blowing up my phone every few days, alternating between calling me names and begging me to fix things, but I haven't responded. I even got a letter in the mail, like actual old school, from my mom, saying how much I've hurt them and how nothing will ever be the same. It's just whatever. I'm not going to pretend I'm some hero or that this feels amazing or whatever. It's just real life. And sometimes you got to do hard stuff for people to actually take you seriously. My parents always treated me like the backup plan because I made things easy for them. And now that I'm not there, they're finally dealing with the mess they make. No miracle ending, no big family reunion, just quiet. I'm still getting weird calls in the occasional angry voicemail. But I'm just living my life now. No more bailing out Sharon. No more covering for my parents. No more being the good son who gets nothing back. If you're reading this and thinking about cutting someone off, just know it's messy and awkward and people will hate you for it, but sometimes it's the only way. Father, I don't regret it. I just wish I'd done it sooner. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for sticking around for the whole mess. I'm out. Subscribe to Hidden Lies for more stories like this.